Hello, everyone. I just wanted to talk a little bit about the astro weather for our Taurus season, which starts in just a couple days, Friday, April 19th, and focus quite a bit on the big Jupiter-Uranus conjunction that comes one day later, Saturday, April 20th. But then just talk a little bit about the astrology of our Taurus season in general. So with every time we go from Aries to Taurus, there's kind of an energy shift from that, initiatory, get things going. Leaves are sprouting, flowers are blooming. We humans, we're doing spring cleaning. We're kind of waking up from hibernation. We're emerging out into the world again. Often we're starting to do more social things in the northern hemisphere. The weather's getting better, warmer. And oftentimes, as we start moving into Taurus season, there's the feeling of we need to step back and rest a little bit. We've kind of been going too much, too fast, and are in danger of burning out. And this is the Aries energy. Aries is that initiatory spark that gets things moving, but Aries is a cardinal fire sign. It gets things going. It's not a fixed fire sign that can maintain that momentum. So it really is that initial lighting of the match, but not the energy that can keep that fire lit. So it's really normal during Aries season for all of us to kind of put in these bursts of energy, and then kind of feel worn out and tired and like, oh, I can't really sustain this momentum, which is perfect because right after Aries comes Taurus. And each zodiac sign, as we transition from one to the next, we can see this beautiful what we're missing in the previous sign, we sort of get that balancing out in the next sign. So it's a beautiful cycle of our wheel, our seasons. So, with the start of Taurus season this Friday, there will be a lot of energy towards coming back to yourself, actively planning some rest and relaxation instead of just always go, go, go. If you've been doing a lot of getting things started, doing social events, you'll probably feel the need to pull back from that a little bit and just relax. Enjoy the beautiful weather, enjoy the sunshine. The warmth of the sun is just perfect during Taurus season. It's not the cold sun of winter and it's not the super hot sun of summer. It's just that beautiful warmth. Um, so kind of plan for that during this Taurus season. Give yourself some time to step back and rest and recharge. Right after the sun moves into Taurus, we have the big Jupiter-Uranus conjunction on Saturday, April 20th, which I think will be exact around 7 p.m. Pacific time. We only get these conjunctions every 13 to 14 years, so this is a big cycle. Um, the last time this happened was 2010, 2011. It did not take place in Taurus then, it took place in Pisces. So the energy is going to be different if you know your chart. Look back to 2010, 2011. Look at where Pisces falls in your chart. Think about that energy that you saw exhibited in that house. You may have some idea of what to expect with this Jupiter-Uranus conjunction, but also this Jupiter-Uranus conjunction has been forming for a while. Because of retrograde motions, these planets have gotten pretty close to each other about a year ago. And then they moved away, and then they've been moving back together, and then we get the exact conjunction on Saturday. So it's unlikely that something crazy new and different is going to emerge between now and Saturday. It's much more likely that there will be some changes that have already been brewing in your life are going to take fuller form, and are going to hit some type of a climax. And Jupiter, Uranus, this is a really, I don't want to call it a fun conjunction exactly. Any conjunction, there are pros and cons, but Jupiter is benefic, it's expansive, it's optimistic, and Uranus is about making big changes, oftentimes needed changes. And sometimes we know there are big changes we need to make in our life, But we're kind of scared to do that because making big changes is super scary to us humans. And Jupiter comes in and basically gives Uranus the confidence to make these changes and the optimism to say, you know what? I'm gonna I'm gonna go out on a limb. I'm gonna make this big change. I believe it's gonna be all right, and I'm gonna be fine, and I'm gonna be better off for it. So these Jupiter Uranus conjunctions every 14 years are just phenomenal times to make those changes we know we need to make in our lives, but we've been kind of too scared to, and we've been procrastinating. So, really try to lean into what in your life is not working, and you have known for a while it hasn't been working. This is an amazing time over these next few months to really make those necessary changes. Um, and just kind of keeping in mind too, Jupiter is really optimistic, which is one of the things we love about Jupiter, but make sure to temper a little reality. We want to take advantage of this Jupiter optimism, um, but we don't want to make a huge change with absolutely no logic or reality built in. So try to balance that, use that optimism, but also do keep your feet grounded on the earth. Most of us, for example, we may have a dream to quit our job and become an NBA player. For most of us, regardless of Jupiter optimism, that's probably not going to happen. So use that Jupiter optimism wisely and mix in a little bit of logic. A few days later, on April 24th, Mercury stations direct. So Mercury throughout this last several weeks has been retrograde. I don't know if everybody else has been feeling it. I have definitely been feeling it. Just the scheduling difficulties alone have been quite a bit. Um, so, as we really look to use this Jupiter and Uranus energy, it's going to be an immense relief to have Mercury moving direct instead of retrograde. It will help us move things forward instead of feeling like we sort of get thwarted at every small turn. Several days after that, on Sunday, April 28th, Mars conjoins Neptune, goes right on top of Neptune in Pisces. Mars, Neptune together, especially in Pisces, the energy there is a little bit weird and is likely to feel like a little bit of friction. Mars wants to move forward, get things done. Neptune brings ambiguity and some amorphous abstract energy. So it's like Mars wants to move forward, but everything is foggy and it's unclear how to move forward or what the best next step is. So it's going to feel hard to move things forward in any meaningful way around the end of April. So maybe looking towards, April 30th, May 1st, that conjunction will loosen, and then it will be easier to move things concretely forward without the Neptune fog. Um, on April 28th, Venus moves into Taurus. Venus has been in Aries. Um, Venus struggles a little bit in Aries. Aries is very hot-headed, impetuous, speaks before thinking, acts before thinking. And Venus loves to be relational, loves harmony and beauty and ease. And if you're if you're speaking and acting without thinking, very often you're going to inadvertently hurt people's feelings, or people are going to take things the wrong way. And so it's hard for Venus to kind of smooth things over harmoniously in Aries. Venus rules Taurus. Venus is very comfortable in Taurus. So as soon as Venus moves into Taurus on April 28th, we'll start to just feel ease. And between Mercury now moving direct instead of retrograde and Venus moving into its home sign of Taurus, things will just start to feel subjectively easier. It's almost like we'll be able to see our blood pressure lower a little bit and see things start to just flow a little better. And we also shortly after then have Mars moving from Pisces to Aries. Normally planets moving into Aries can kind of signal some friction, uh, some difficulty, but Mars in Pisces is hard energy, wanting to move forward but feeling pretty stuck by the ambiguity of Pisces, especially since Mars just conjoined Neptune in Pisces. That's a lot of ambiguous, abstract energy. So Mars moving into Aries, its home sign, at the end of April, we really start to be able to move forward. Mars can kind of be supercharged in Aries, and just whatever you want to do, you will feel extra motivated to do it. You will know exactly what you need to do, and you will be able to move forward. So the end of the month, things just start really loosening up. We've got Venus and Taurus just getting into a flow, Mars and Aries. We've got a motivation, we've got a direction, we are going. Then by mid-May, May 14th, Mercury moves from Aries into Taurus. This, Mercury has been retrograde in Aries for a while, so this move into Taurus is going to feel like a real shift, like we're really leaving that Mercury retrograde energy behind. And by this point, most of the planets except Mars will be out of Aries. So again, some of that friction we've been feeling strongly over the last few months with a lot of planets in Aries, we'll start to feel that dissipate. And Mercury and Taurus will be able to have more grounded, relaxed conversations. Mercury in Aries is much more argumentative, debating, looking to relate to people via conflict. Mercury in Taurus is much more like, it's a beautiful day today. The sky is a lovely shade of blue. This food is delicious. We'll start to be able to have conversations like that. Again, more of that beautiful, flowy energy. So those are some of the big events for our Taurus season. And then May 19th, the sun moves into Gemini. Interestingly, as the sun moves into Gemini, both Mercury and Venus are still in Taurus. So even though the sun will move into Gemini on May 19th, we'll still feel quite a bit of that Taurus energy for a while because Jupiter, Uranus, Mercury, and Venus are still all in Taurus. So I hope this was helpful. If anyone is interested in knowing how these transits are going to hit your chart personally, I do offer astrology readings. You can look at my website, Magic of the Moon Astrology, all one word, magicofthemoonastrology.com. Thank you all so much, and I wish everyone a beautiful Taurus season of love and light and a lot more flow and ease than some of the energy we've experienced so far this year.